Hola, hola, hola. Oatmeal and granola. What's going on, everybody? Why can't the Raptors lose close games? Why does it have to be 30 points down? Can't even get excited. Have to call on the most insane comebacks in history to be like, we've got a chance. Why can't they just lose like quietly the whole game by 8 points so we can just keep drinking and have fun and entertain the thought that maybe we'll win? That's what I want to know this morning. Last night I got really hammered watching the Raptors get destroyed by Boston, and I wasn't looking. I didn't get hammered and go to s1mple's HLTV page. No, I got hammered and overclocked my processor to 5 gigahertz from 3.7. I had a guy tell me at an internet once. I had when I bought like an i7 3770 like way back when, and he's like, you don't need the K. Like overclocking won't do a lot. I was like, okay. And then ever since then, even when I bought the Ks, I've never overclocked them. So I've just I left this one at 3.7. I've overclocked it now to 5. And I'm flying, dude. I swear to God, I get more frames on Tarek GG Deathmatch now than I get like 60. I don't know if it's placebo or not, but man, I swear to God, I feel like I cashed out on this overclock. I feel great about this. One of my best drunk decisions. There's a big question mark about this video right now. What the hell happened here? There's the mystery on Nuke, okay? Look at this score line and tell me what's weird. Okay? How did everyone go positive in this half? Tizian was 11 and 11, 85 ADR. Every single other person went positive in this half. It wasn't even is a 12-3 half. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm not deleting the video, but I am embarrassed. Okay. Big had a really good CT half. Navi had their own CT half before that. Okay, big throws on the T. Okay, I understand. All right, everyone shut up. Okay, anyways, we're playing on 1280 by 960 here today. 4-3 this time around. Can't replicate the 240 hertz for you. You guys, we have some Ardent 1024 black bars supporters. Let me try to dodge my webcam here. Ardent. Adamant. Voracious. You guys eat up black bars like it's chocolate bars. Okay? Okay, but then a couple of people, voices of reason. But either way, I'm humbled. Okay, I didn't know there's so many people who love black bars. Honestly, half the freaking people we watch in these Coach Lot episodes are using black bars. Here's the YouTube title right here. The perfect comment. It showed up again. Lolly. s1mple 17-0 on Nuke versus Big. 17-0 is what we're going to look at today. Please, please. I just hope that this doesn't happen. I don't know. s1mple's played on 800 by 600 before. I don't want that to happen this time around. Let's get into the game. Oh, that's the wrong overlay. All right. Let's get into the game. Let's find out how s1mple went 17-0 today versus Big. A great CT side. I don't want to see any comments about me reading the both teams' stats. Okay, I'm a little bit hungover. That's my excuse. Okay? It's windy. I'm lagging. I didn't shower. I showered. I don't have an excuse. We're going to forget about it and move on. Both teams played awesome on CT side, and I'm not confused in the slightest about it at all. Oh, this is a bad start. This is a very bad start. Okay, s1mple. Banana CZ back sight. They're trying to crush upstairs. They're moving a bit slow, these T's. s1mple sprays him down with the CZ. He's got two. He's honestly got the little bit of the Kirby spray. Like, he goes crazy with it. Even when he opts, I swear to God, when s1mple opts sometimes, it's like a lightning bolt. Like, he'll click and then he'll like spin his mouse around. Like, he'll hit it and then boom, there'll be like a shockwave to follow with his mouse movements, and it makes his flicks look way cooler. But I imagine it's because he's on 3 .09 sensitivity. But yeah, so, I mean, it makes his op shots do probably 200-300 more damage per shot. But I feel very unfunny today. Very unfunny, very hungover. Let's focus in on the game. It's AUG season. Simple. 2 targets, but how many victims? There's one more in the hut. The spray is good. Why'd they make the AUG spray so easy? All you have to do is pull down. Why is the Krieg like draw the biggest 7 that you can? Like why do you have to pull down? Why do you have to pull down like you're slicing a katana with the Krieg? Why can't you just pull down calmly like you can with the AUG? I don't know why, but I do know that the AUG is coming back more into favor with more players more often. It's such a viable weapon. It's halfway between an M4 and an AWP. And for that reason, it's going to be interesting to watch s1mple play with it. Just farming simulator for s1mple. He's already at 7 kills. I mean, we know because of s1mple, it's not going to be a quiet 17-0. I mean, you might press tab and be like, whoa, he has 17 kills. He's already got 7 off of these 2 rounds. And he's just, yeah, he's just eating them up outside on these ecos. There's not going to be many rifle kills, but you know there's going to be 1 flick in a couple of rounds. There's going to be 1 flick in a couple of rounds where you're like, oh, shit, he's the best player in the world. Even though that was preceded by, like, 8 of the quietest eco kills of all time. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Does the AUG get dropped? No, he's going to keep. Yeah, he got an op now. Okay. Well, there's Searson out. Searson, one of the top offers right now. An instant pickoff over the Molotov. Don't know if he saw him clearly or just went for the pre-fire. But I imagine at some point, if you're not exactly sure, you still just click. Because you don't want to get opt back, and sometimes it's hard to know if you're going to lose that fight to somebody looking over a Molotov. To be honest, I don't know what fucking settings people use, but even when I play on high effects, I think there's a good case for playing on almost every setting on high. But when I play on high effects, I feel like I don't see any better over top of Molotovs. I'm really not sure what the best situation is, but I moved all my settings back down to low. Because what I've learned as a playing CS for the past 20 years is that if your game doesn't look like dog shit, you're not playing to win. And I don't want to give anybody the wrong idea. Well, you gotta hit him in the head, I guess. Super simple round. I didn't mean to go there with the pun. But yeah, no one came, so we decided to push. It's pretty easy. You can really clean off these angles inside of ramp. No trouble. If there's no one there and they don't test you and people aren't doing like the outside fake to ramp hit and you're in ramp, you're going to be able to push once every few rounds. Is normal. So far he's unkillable. It's a mixed buy here for big. He's going third up the ladder, interesting, letting the Molotovs come out first. And I like the HE. So the HE lands in front of the vent. And it's not to blow the vent open for them. Okay. Let's see if anything interesting happens here. Nice movement off the ladder. Drops down, catches it right at the bottom to not take any damage. And now he's in a useful position. Falling back really, really fast. Pay attention to the rotations here. s1mple into the lower sight. We had someone in the comments help out and tell me instead forego. The other tense for forego before went, which was very helpful. Now I'd like to know, is anticipatory a word? In anticipation of. Anticipatory. Sounds like one, but it might not be. s1mple, anticipatory of a lower hit, decided to go down to the ramp into the lower site with his teammate. And it's like scary looking at that because he's got one teammate upstairs. I guess he's got two upstairs that he went with, one ramp. So I guess it's fine. They can have one sit top hut, watch it, or sit fur or sit Mustang or whatever, watch the heaven ladder come up, and then he just goes down lower, so they have two and they don't have to worry about the rotations from there. Would have liked to see how that played out if Big had better guns in that situation. But it was cool. It was cool to see how fast they made that decision to move. And then that nade again is just, I think the most important quality of the HE is that it slows. That makes it even more valuable than a Molotov in certain positions, because it can slow you down in a Molotov. There's a synergizing effect with it. That'll mean you'll take damage, plus the Molotov will do damage, plus you're slowed in the Molotov, so you take even more damage. And so, like, a Molotov paired with an HE at T-Con on train, for example, could be better than a smoke, better than a Molotov by itself. Like, Molotov's a thirst thought on people coming out of T-Con, but off of a good spawn, sometimes it's not enough. Nade for the cross. Now, we saw a lot of the times in our electronic demo how s1mple assisted electronic while he played inside of mini, spotting that cross. Not so much spotting silo, but really playing out in the open in the middle of the yard, watching the smokes, taking nice wide angles, covering a lot. And I guess it's something it's a bit scarier, of course, if if someone wide swings on you from like top of mini or something like that. But suppose, you've always got to trust you're going to hit your shot. s1mple believes in his reflexes. It's cool to see this round slow down. Spidey sense goes off and s1mple flicks behind him, but there's just no time here for Big. Almost free. Searson escapes. I'm not hungover, but this hangover's really kicking my ass right now. I got Powerade and Red Bull. Powerade, electrolytes. I just decided that's how I was going to take caffeine today. I don't drink Red Bull a lot. Not that I don't love it and we wouldn't love a sponsorship, but I'm usually just a cup of coffee in the morning, one coffee a day kind of guy. We're seeing so many fast rotations between s1mple and other players. They're swapping positions out in the 5v5 before they even know where the commitments are going to happen sometimes. And the indication is just kind of playing off intuition. s1mple does not fall for that player bait. Searson gets out-opt once again. Control window gets blown open just to keep him guessing. This is kind of interesting. So it looks like there's at least a couple of players on the upstairs side and one down lower. It seems like the fake is lower. So s1mple might have to pull up for a retake. Oh, maybe not. They're coming down. Keto next up, and s1mple closing off his angle, and oh man, he really can't be stopped. That's the round. Okay, that's the round. All right, he hits that one flick at the end. They hit tab. s1mple 14-0. Wow, he is the best player in the world. He is having one hell of a game. That was definitely a very nice shot. And I don't know, like s1mple's got high sense. So I think I've gone back and forth from believing he just doesn't really consider crosshair placement that much to, like, his high sense makes it seem like his aim is a bit more sloppy, but his reflexes are incredible, right? So he can hit all of these flick shots. But he also is, of course, you know, this best player in the world, the top 2 player in the world, whatever, because he's always standing in a really good spot. I honestly think it's his positioning stands out so much more than everything else that he can do. He just also hits the crazy shots, if that makes sense. He moves without hesitation. Off intuition, off game sense, off, you know, he's an incredibly fast calculator, and then he has amazing reflexes. You don't really become the top 0.001% without both. Quick 15-0, 181 ADR, 2 assists so far. But you really, you can't be the best player in the world without all of these different things. And as much as some people look at s1mple, like, his movement's not great, and sometimes it feels like his crosshair placement, like, one thing you notice about s1mple is, like, he's so confident that he knows where the next fight's going to be that sometimes he's not clearing angles, you know, with the sickest textbook crosshair placement. Molly into the Ventus rounds. Just trying to see if there's going to be some kind of upper rush. Big have not abused that. But Big get a lot out of this by calling on Na'Vi to be worried and just like throw all these Molotovs at the beginning of every round. We can see Na'Vi completely out of Molotovs already. They have crossed a few times, but it doesn't seem like it's... s1mple doesn't really worry about this. Like, I think there's only so much he feels like he can do about it. Electronic, of course, has to watch his back inside mini. And then s1mple, actually, it seems like just more worries about rotating down fast and getting into a good position in lower. So let's see how he plays this round. Instant flick, lightning fast. And cool, he's actually just committing upstairs. So this is like the kind of thing that some people wouldn't be willing to do. Because here, you know, he can't rotate ramp anymore. He's locked off. They have to push into hut, which is normal. And he'll have to do a vent drop rotation as opposed to a ramp drop rotation. And you would rather rotate down ramp than vents. So this is kind of cool because they do both here. They clear out lobby to make sure there's no lurker. Now they don't have to watch their back in lobby. And they can get downstairs fast as well. I like that rotation a lot from Na'Vi. Not sure if that was orchestrated by s1mple, but that was really cool. It's not abnormal to push into hut when people are taking outside control because it's a zero-sum game, right? You can only have so many people holding a position. If they're going for an outside default and you know that, then there's at least majority players outside. And if you have 3 players pushing a hut, you'll kill the one guy who's holding in lobby, and then you have lobby control while they have outside. And then it's scary for them to go upstairs when you have lobby control. So that's why teams are throwing in a lot of hut and lobby pushes. But that play in specific, it deals with downstairs, it deals with lobby, and it also covers upstairs all at once. Searson, 0 for 3. Every time s1mple sees him, he dies. I swear to God, Searson in one tournament, like DreamHack Master Spring, became like the best scouter to ever play this game. With the amount of highlights he has. He's on that path to having great all-time stats. You can see it. Searson is seriously incroyable. Okay, I think the death is coming up. It's a 13-2 half. Na'Vi haven't lost a round yet, but they will. Or a 12-3. Unfortunately, s1mple. I think he's gonna die now. Shame. I've been talking right through the freeze times. There's so much to talk about. I haven't even had to speed things up. Okay, how's he gonna go? Electronic dies first. It's the first bad omen. And yeah, he's always kind of in this position to hot swap with his ramp player. He really just he just sends everybody else to just, you know, congeal into their they have to get comfortable in their spot. But if s1mple's coming through, boss is in town, they've all got to swap out, work together to support him. They've got a good system around him. There are all these tiny, like, micro holes in all of these rotations where if you find the timing, you'd be able to abuse it. But the timings are not that big when someone leaves a spot and gets in a new one. So s1mple on the floor again. And this time they aren't pushing into lobby, even though they just saw outside control. So it seems like at this point, the thing that bigger are doing that's really good is, damn bro, he's got like the secret service following him around everywhere he goes. You love to see that. But bigger doing such a good job of picking off all of the pieces around him first. Wow, they really had to work extremely hard to be able to kill s1mple. To get a fight with s1mple, there's that 4K and lower where that was like their best chance to just kill him while he was by himself. But all these other rounds, he's got someone holding onto his pockets no matter where he goes. Dropping vents, coming out to ramp, coming up to heaven. This guy is never alone. Another very interesting demo. We've seen that. I did a video on Cirque a long time ago, and it was the same thing. Called it the secret Cirque this. That was one of the names. The other one was Cirque du Soleil. But I think that was a more apt definition. Okay, so here's a round where they get s1mple to rotate lower, but it's not a situation where they're going lower. And now the up bent rotate is the worst rotate that you can have. You don't want to have to do this. Being up numbers helps a little bit here, but no, you'd rather just not move if you can. But with Cirque, that was the same deal. The entire rounds on CT side were just based around him. He'd have one or two players. It was usually, you know, it was like Daps and Ethan, or Daps and Fugly at the time, who would follow him around to cover positions he wasn't watching, let him focus in on like a high frag location where he'd have to stand out in the open and cover the angles that he'd normally be attacked from to make sure he can get the most free shots off as possible. And I mean, in a situation like this especially, I mean, where s1mple's having a really strong game, you just want to heighten that and make sure he's in the most amount of places possible. We see the one round, that big one, they had to kill 3 people before s1mple to be able to win. There's actually so much like chess in that way. Like, you're never going to take the queen out as the first piece. Another nice flick from him on this round. And they end up finding the frag. Initial dink from Tabson crossing outside made him a lot softer. But he looks like he probably would have died anyway, so. Big. Making something of this half. It seemed like he was just a bit more confused about where they might go, which is credit to Big. Oh boy, he's gonna. It looked like he was gonna run head first into that. Man, what? Why did he do that? Holy. I guess he thought like they're running, and this might be my best chance to get multiple kills. I don't know. I feel like he could have taken an op shot, fallen back to the deagle in the corner with his teammate on Turnpike. That's pretty funny. Okay. Letting him up first for the Molotovs, and that one down the vent. So he's either throwing the nade, the additional grenade that lands in front of the vent to slow him down after the Molotov comes out in sweet heat, or the Molotov at the bottom of vent. Both to have the same effect of just doing the most amount of Molotov damage possible. I like that. Chance there for a shot. And this is where we find out if it was 12-3 or 13-2. Any more tricks for us? Jump spotting the back of the site. Smoke down front of control. Someone in the dark. He's going to see that flash. And we got the no-scope. Okay. Thought it was coming. Searson gets some revenge. And picks up an off. Drops at his feet. Wait a second. Okay. They'll be able to defuse, right? No, they don't. Searson 1v3, baby. Okay. Guys, this one's a little bit messy. I will admit. I told some bad jokes today. I definitely zoned out on 1 or 2 rounds there. But I had fun. I hope you had fun too. Thank you so much, Lolly, for the recommendation. s1mple on Nuke. I think we saw some really cool stuff. I think it was a very active CT side. It was cool to see how Flamey basically always made space for s1mple. Replaced his position at Nuke. Followed him into Hut for the situations where they like lost outside. They seem to have looking from s1mple's perspective without X-ray on. It's a big guessing game as to whether or not Big were outside, going upstairs, or going lower. And I really, really loved that round where s1mple and Flamey went through Hut to clear out lobby just to make sure or catch the late ramp flank, and then went lower that way. I thought that was awesome because if it's upstairs, they have a good play. If it's downstairs, it's still a good play, even though it takes a bit longer. Because sometimes you take, like say you're the ramp player and you take lower. Sometimes the lurks come out so late on the ramp that you end up losing the round because that's a great post-plant position. So the guy comes out late ramp, flanks 2 of you on the ramp, and you lose the round. But if you push through lobby first, clear that out, and it right away, you never have to worry about it again. So yeah, really cool to see when s1mple dropped into the upper site and when he decided to actually just sit on ramp or push through. And again, you don't become a player like s1mple just having great reflexes. You do it because you're decisive and you have great positioning as well. So I think, yeah, it's the full package. The full package. He's got it going for him. So yeah, I'll never be able to play on sensitivity this high. But it was a fun demo to watch. So who's next? Who's delivering the YouTube? The comment of the day, basically. Who's got the clickbait title for me? 17-0. This is going to be there. I'm going to copy that right now. That's what it is. We're using it. All right. Okay. Live on Twitch right now. Coach Lau's live on Twitch right now playing Counter-Strike all fucking day. If you want to come through, twitch.tv/Lunders. And if you do have Twitter, I appreciate the retweets, especially for the videos. Visibility is everything for me. So right now I'm like the only guy retweeting my shit. So if you have Twitter, you can follow me at Lunders and retweet the videos if you like them. Much love. Appreciate y'all. See you tomorrow.